We're here talking about Mexican-American studies in Tucson specifically, and basically the elimination of the program and our support for it, as the students, as alumni, as, community members. UNIDOS, it stands for United Non-Discriminatory Individuals Demanding Our Studies. We formed from students from all around the TUSD district. And basically we came together to protect Mexican-American studies.
They've passed SB 1070, which separated families, separated children from their mothers, and HB 2281 is just an attempt to erase that story from the history of Arizona. These classes are so important. The Latino community nationally has a really high dropout rate. It's one of the highest of all ethnicities. This program was put into USD to counter that, and it was working. It had a 95% success rate. All the kids who took the Mexican-American Studies class, 95% of them were graduating and possibly going on to college.
These attacks are constant in our community, and they're always trying to pass more legislation that's basically attacking, migrants or Mexican families. And it's a really toxic environment for Mexican people living in Arizona.
See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to deport our families, put them on the bus, take them back, separate families, and then erase the history behind it. So 10 years from now, we won't talk about it. We can't talk about how people's families were separated. So it's a really important thing to defend.
They basically came into the classes and they made the students basically pack up their books. And for that's a really traumatizing experience for the students to have to be there and see the teachers not being able to do anything and having to pack up their books, and they basically hauled them off and just had them locked up.
The school board went from not defending our classes to actively working against them. So we decided that we had to do something, and I think we had like a big meeting with a bunch of people to try and brainstorm ideas, and we came up with chaining ourselves to the board members' chairs.
It got to the point where we had done everything that was possible, and this was just the only resort left.
Nakesh, tú eres mi otro yo. You are my other me. Si te hago daño a ti, if I do harm to you, me hago daño a mí mismo. Si te amo y respeto, me amo y respeto yo. So it's kind of like you are me. If I love you, I'm loving myself. So that's something like we understand, and really, like, all the students, we take it to heart,
Mother's always worried, and that's a fact. So of course, my mom, she's always worried whenever I go out. I try to, keep it on the down low. If we're gonna do some civil disobedience to not get her worried, but I'll always inform my dad to make sure that somebody knows that something might go down.
Like, what motivated me to take action personally is, like I was saying, like the book, Always Running. Books like that, they're not just a book. Like, to me, like that changed my life. The reading was so familiar to me, like what he's talking about, the basketball courts being chained up at night, to where you couldn't go to play at night. And it's just like, man, like that happens where I'm from, and police are rolling through the streets where I'm from. It's not just a book, and for them to like take those things away, it's like it's offensive. It's so offensive, and so like you have to do something. I want to see my little cousins, I want to see my nephews be able to go into high school and have the same education that I had when I was in high school, and learning about your culture and learning about who you are as a human being.
We're here to basically bring it back and make sure that the education is still going on in the community by any means. So if that means creating autonomous education and creating spaces where we can teach Mexican-American studies, then we'll take that avenue.
To try and make a better world, like, I think that's a goal for everyone, and it's something a struggle that has to keep going on throughout history, and to be part of that and to try and improve life, not only for my descendants but for the descendants of everyone in my community.
So what's next for UNIDOS is we have a house that has been donated to us. We're paying very low rent on it. What we're going to do is create a workshop on how to fix up this house with the community. So it's going to be a house that's going to be made by the community, and it's going to be turned into a center for the community where the youth can go to learn about the Mexican American Studies curriculum, and also learn about the history of the barrios that they've grown up in, and the history of their city, and the history of their grandparents, the history of their people. So that's our project right now. So we are accepting donations. You can get in contact with us at unidos.tucson@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter at Unidos por Vida, and also our Facebook at Unidos.